So welcome back to Morning Live. As I mentioned earlier, it's all about Dandora and the Green Initiative by Ndoto Zetu. Having two gentlemen in the studio, but Dandora is Nairobi's main dumping ground. Every day it receives more than 2,000 metric tons of waste from the capital city's 4.5 million residents. However, the people are taking a stand and are coming up with different initiatives that they hope will make a difference in the community. In studio, I'm joined by James Andere and of course Andare, that is, and John Mwangi, who, of course, John Mwangi is the artist founder of Ndoto Zetu and James Andare is the secretary of Ndoto Zetu. They'll be telling us about their desires. At the end of the day, they want this thing actually gotten rid of. And Dandora, as you've seen and you've heard, some have been there. It's one of course, the dumping sites, biggest in Africa. That's actually very sad. Good morning.
Oh, morning.
Good to see you, man.
Thank you.
Merauka.
Lazima.
So, good initiative you guys are having.
Yes.
The Green Initiative. And what is it all about? Maybe you can just give us a brief situation. What is it all about?
So, thank you very much. Number one, the Green Initiative is something we sat down, and it is basically driven by the fact that locals in Dandora have mistakenly learned to live with the dumpsite.
Okay.
And that's something we wanted to change because ni mindset. So we wanted to ensure that we can create a situation where tunaweza peana workshops, tupeane training, tupeane knowledge. Wasewa jue hii dumpsite city iko hapa because inafaa kuwa hapa. Iko hapa because of circumstances. Those circumstances you can change them.
Yeah.
So why don't we involve the community, especially kids, because Ndoto Zetu na kids, to ensure that we create workshops that could plant trees. As in kukuwe na paradise Dandora. So it's going to need a negative and everything.
Yeah. Ukisikia story ya Dandora, tukianza story ya kwanza Kayole, Dandora, okay, story ya dumpsite iko, ndio. But now story za Nyongolo. Sana pigwa pale na kombao kwa shingo na kwa for like 2 months hivi. The issue of crime among the young people and the dumpsite also, you know, this thing, they go hand in hand because sometimes the negativity that comes from the estate itself is kind of crime and dumpsite. So as Ndoto Zetu, you are the founder actually.
Yeah.
What are you doing about it? Yes, we're talking about planting trees, very good initiatives actually, but now there's some aspects of even morals. You know, morals, Ndoto Zetu, the dreams, you're having a dream of Dandora becoming a better place, is it? So what are you doing about this also?
So for Dandora, hizi stuff zote zinaanza na mtoi. Because me personally nime grow in dumpsite, nimekaa dumpsite for over 5 years.
Okay.
I was once a street kid. Na nili notice issue yote inaanza na mtoi. So hizi sema uta change Dandora unless uanze na watoto.
Yeah.
So when I came out from dumpsite, when I get a small opportunity, nilisema the only way, ile option yenye tu iko ni ku-uplift our toi. Because mtoto wote ana grow Dandora, the only option yenye na get ni kujoin crime, kuingia dumpsite. Because hakuna mse yako hapo kumsaidia ama kumsikiza, ku-create hizo opportunities, naona. So, because mse akisikia ametoka Dandora anajua msejo
ni Nyongolo.
Nyongolo tu na hizo stuff zote. So
actually Nyongolo means just what can you say in English? Ngeta. It has a special names actually. Actually so many names it can be given. Yeah, sure.
So me vile tu niliona we saw as if we get an opportunity, create a safe space where kids can be coming, we can nurture their talents, tunaweza onyesha other ways apart from this, because wasikue peke yao. Unajua kwa street mtu huyo akika idol anaweza piga mtoto mwingine na mawe, anaweza pigwa na pikipiki, unaona, ataona mse fulani akivuta bangi. Lakini ukimweka in a safe place, mahali atakuwa busy, unaona, ata practice, unaona, unampatia opportunities ya kuvisit hata kama ni kukuja Switch TV, kuenda na different avenues, yenye kuna other life, si tu Dandora tu peke yake. And that's what I came up na come up na initiative ya Ndoto Zetu. And now we are holding over 30 kids in our safe space, na tuko nao mpaka hata wakifikisha 18 years bado tuko nao. So ndio wanajoin sasa Dandora Hip Hop City. So unapata in that way mtu yana grow differently. Na yuko idol, ako different. Mtu mpaka anaongea Kizungu. I wish mkuje huko muone na Dandora.
Yako chuo, ndio? Sasa ako shule, ndio?
Ako shule.
So that's a good thing. So when you look at Dandora, ukiangalia Dandora from let me say, I think that's the geographical area from Kariobangi south, unajua kwa Mbao,
najua
ukiteremka hivi chini Sivo, you know where Sivo is, ukienda chini kabisa. Are you guys starting from up there coming down up to now the deeper end of Dandora, because now Dandora is big,
it's big,
but there's of course the boundary between Babadogo, Kariobangi North, all those areas. Are you guys maybe traverse this area, or maybe you concentrating only on Dandora as your safe space?
So number one, I would say, whenever you need to start something, of course you need to start where you are first. But what we are doing, because we needed to expand, we need to expand as usual. So we have Dandora phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically I'm coming from phase 4.
Okay.
He's from phase 3. So we joined hands, now started where we are now. And then we thought of a way to include the other areas. So the festival is one of the platforms really as include nazo the other areas. So when to Panga festival, to visit even schools that even are not in phase 4 or phase 3. So we phase 1. Na phase 1 ni mbali sana na phase 4. So it's a huge area. Now vision yetu haikuwa tikuje tu phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vision yetu ilikuwa nataka ichape east land mzima, east side mzima, na God willing na tunaona ikifika ishike the whole of the country.
Wow.
That's the vision.
That's good. Now back to you, the kids, unajua to hiyo kuna parents wao. Unajua that's a very good one, with the fact that now you're starting with the kid, because as they're growing they have to understand that indeed Dandora is not a dump site. Dandora is a beautiful place to be in. You have a good stadium actually coming up. Very nice stadium. I can tell you for that. Do you think these parents are now embracing also this change, because it starts with them? By the time they allow their kids to go out there and meet you guys, that means it's something good. They want something good. How's the response from the parents?
So mi Kenya nasema for sahi, apart from parents, ninaanzia na mtoto. So kama mtoto atai kukam, obvious mzazi atakubali. Unajua huwezi force mtoi kwenda mahali. So what we have done, we have created some different activities. Zenye zinafanya mtoi mpaka kilala anaota na ndoto zetu. Naona. So mpaka unapata hata kiche anaambia hadi anasumbua mzazi, anamka 7 mpaka mzazi anashanga 7 kufanya kazi mapema. Mama nataka nisichelewe, by 10 nataka nikuwe nimefika ndoto zetu. Today we have a puppetry show, we have to see the movie sessions today. Naona. So unapata hizo activities ndo zinafanya mtoi. Sasa hata mzazi anafurahi, because hata zile kelele upigiwa kwa nyumba
na anapunguziwa pia vitu mingi.
Anapunguziwa. So watu wazazi wako enhance na sisi, na they are really supporting, wanasema thank you, hata wanashindwa natulipaje.
Wow. Okay. Now looking at these kids, anu watoi, but you see kuna pia shule. And do you think also wakiwa watu hivyo, do you send them to influence other pupils in school? Because kuna ile story ya sasa kuvutana. Onyele kuvutana. I understand maybe the school around Dandora environs. Au watumia maybe kuvuta wengine pia, kwa sababu because they have the passion, I believe also they can use that to attract other kids.
So I'll give you one case yenye tulikuwa nayo. When we started the festival, that is 3 months ago. So 3 months ago we visit a school called Green Light. So Green Light is one of our kid anasoma hapo, ito Jessica. She's a poet. Very good poet. So when we presented the idea to the school, the head teacher, imagine what she said is this is something, it's like we had expected this, because seeing Jessica in school, we don't know to what extent this would bring to the school. So kanambia atufai hata kuwari, because the other kids already washa emulate Jessica. Already washa emulate Jessica. Like Jessica is like that role model to them. Designadi Jessica kisema tuenda hivi, they follow. So tukaona okay, this is something already inashika watu. So ilikuwa easy hata kuleta the other kids to the program. It's very easy, because wanaona vile Jessica ana perform kwa different shows, anaonekana kwa TV, wanasema wow, let's follow her. So your question inamaanisha sasa we don't just spend time with these kids, but now make ambassadors. Wakienda mahali, people can follow. Waseme mazetu tuendeni kwa Jessica. Jessica anafanya kazi poa sana. You see, so ina capture. Inakuwa ni kama fishing. No, fish others. So inakuwa expand to the community.
Amazing. So planting trees, you also do that, huh? You know, when you talk about the dam site, it's a big area. It's a very big area. But you see, planting trees, that means you're taking space. Where do you plant these trees? You know, Dandora has so many different areas where sometimes getting even land to plant trees, and also talk about the river. You know, that's also a very important thing. Huh? Planting trees and the river. How do you now manage also? Because a lot of the kids who are dumping are very mature people. By the time these mature people finish dumping, these kids will have a lot of work clearing this place. So, nini ufanyika hapo?
Unajua Dandora ni kubwa.
Sana.
It's very big. So what we are doing now, we are working with different courts. Naona. So kuna courts, kuna different, kuna phase 1 au kuna court kadhaa. So we are trying to get spaces za government zenye zimenyakuliwa. So we are making it as a museum. Mahali mtu anaweza kama tulio, making it green, tunapanda manyasi and all that, we are doing clean up. Alafu river, kando ya river we have got a very big spaces. Alafu hizi shule zetu hazina trees. Hata in the festival, on the workshops, so the first day and the 2nd of August, we are going to start a nursery for trees in different schools. Tunataka to plant hata kama ni 1,000 trees on that day, because we have 15 schools on board. Na wana miti hata moja. Tuko na mti moja peke yake Dandora. Nitanga mti moja. So we want to plant a lot of trees. Nito mti moja na ni place.
Oh, ni mti tu moja.
Ni mti tu moja.
Zingine zinamea lakini. Zingine
sasa ndo tunashughulikia. Alafu unajua what happens, because hizi vitu zote ni wase wakubwa wamekuwa kifanya. So mimi sina time ya kumwagilia mti maji. So ndameesha tu kidogo nijichoche nipige mapicha hapo alafu imeisha hivyo. But if you're doing it with kids, mtu ni unajua ni mtu na we do it, tulifanya kidogo na watu wa ndoto zetu. We did it with maragwe and mahindi. So tukafanya tu ka workshop, alafu kila mtu tukamwambia ni aje kila mtu sahi lazima ameshe mahindi na tukampatia nini ya maziwa na mchanga. Mtu na akifika tu hivi ni maji. Hata wanabishana, yangu ninakuwa kubwa kuliko yako. Unaona, so mtu ni easy, hata kama ni mti itamea virahisi kuliko mimi venye ndapanda hiyo miti. So mimi ndakuwa nachoka nasema hii mti inanizoea kila saa ndakuwa namwagia. Niko na kazi mingi za kudu. But that's why we are introducing it and doing it as ndoto zetu. We see it as schools zikichukua, watu wao kichukua, Dandora ita change.
Amazing. So we're taking a short break. When you come back, we'll now focus on what they do on a side. You know, at the end of the day, they need to be supported. Monetary support is very important. And how do they do it? Because they can't operate all this way without money. So who supports them? Do they actually dig deep into their own pockets to support themselves, or who actually now pushes them to the limits? All that coming to you after a short break. Stay tuned to Morning Live. Welcome back to Morning Live. So, as I mentioned earlier before we took a break, it's all about who now pushes them to the limits whereby the support itself. You know, monetary support is very important for them to now push ahead with their desires and their plans. So, just come back to you. So, who helps you guys? You know, at the end of the day, this thing is not easy. You know, by the time you mobilize the kids, you know, they want food, they want snacks, they want so many things. Some of the kids kind of, they want to consume more at some point. So, you survive dough, kaizo.
Now, number one, as we said, so we under Dandora Hip Hop City.
Okay.
Now, Dandora is Hip Hop City is an initiative started by one of the biggest artists in Kenya, Juliani. So having Juliani on board is in its way a support channel. Okay. Now, not only monetary, but also in terms of the physical space, the instruments, the tools, the items that we might need. Not just monetary, because this thing is not just about money. Because kama ingekuwa do by that tungefanya. Because watu sort hapa nje wanaachana nayo. So as I said, so we get not 100%, but we have gotten help from Juliani. But through Juliani as well, tumepata help from other companies. But that is last year when we got CSR from CAM. So Kenya Association of Manufacturers, and we thank them so much. So it's more of, it's occasional. It's not like we insist on this like every time, because if you do insist on this every time, ni ngumu hata kusonga because ni kama focus ni hiyo tu, but we do it even hata money kikuja you're still able to move. But unajua kama ukishindwa kufanya hata hiyo money kikuja sasa utachanganikiwa.
That's true.
So we do it with whatever little we have. Sometimes we go into our pockets, sometimes, but not always. And it moves. It moves.
Okay. Something else, you know, by the time you convince a young person, this kid who is growing up to become a pioneer in terms of maybe keeping the Dandora very green, you know, you cannot convince someone to be waking up early in the morning, but they're in a bad state of mind. Let's talk about intoxication, because sometimes drugs, crime go together. So you cannot convince someone, amke asubuhi, akuje afanye hiyo job, na amelewa, akuna hangover, intoxicated. That means there needs to be some awareness on drug use also. Are you doing it, by the way? Because at the end of the day, these are kids. Yes, they are kids, but also you want them to prosper, to flourish in this aspect of keeping the Dandora clean. But do you talk to them about drugs also?
Yeah, for now, we're working with one of the church in Pefa, and they're doing a program called Plants and Pillars.
Okay.
So they're having awareness for drugs and all that. So what we do, we always create time. Kama this Saturday, we are having that awareness at Pefa Church from 2 p.m. to 6. So tunapeleka watu huko wana get that knowledge. But kumbuka tunawaka na watoto. So watu wenye tunawaka nao bado hawajaingia in drugs. So what we are trying to do ni wasiingie for drugs. But we also planning, we have an activity inaitwa PCC, Patia Chokora Chance, where now we are going deeply to watu wenye sasa wako kwa drugs. We are trying sasa kuwatoa. But for sasa we are working with kids wenye wajaingia. So our work is to make sure hakuna opportunity hata kidogo watapata ya kuingia kwa drugs.
Okay, amazing. Your event is coming up soon?
Yes.
When?
So the event is on 1st to 3rd of August.
Okay.
That is next month.
Next month. So what do we have to, like, what do you have in store for the event? What is happening?
Yeah, so beginning with the title itself, so it's Dandora Kids Music and Drama Festival.
Okay.
So this is a festival that we sat down and came up with because tumekuwa na hizi platforms za drama na music, but the problem is even hata mimi grow up sikuwa napata hizo opportunities Dandora. So tukaona why don't we bring it closer? Ndo sasa si lazima uanze kutoa pesa mingi sana kwa mfuko kwenda sijui wapi. Why don't we bring it closer? So we drew the concept note na tukaileta on board. So it's basically a platform where kids in Dandora basically watakuwa wanachukua center stage through drama and music to educate themselves and the community about, so like the theme is environment. So about your environment and about other issues and to address kwa hizo place. So funny thing that hizo vitu zote hizo time zote tumezichora wenyewe. That's why nakwambia it's more of voluntary.
You need to be passionate about all these things.
Like so hizo 15 schools zote wako na items and we really had to work our our heads off until midnight tunachora tu hizi vitu. So on 1st to 3rd of August tutakuwa na hii event. So 1st and 2nd kuna workshops. So hizi workshops based on the items, kuna wase tumeinvite wenye watakuja at least kumentor the different groups. Kama example ni drama, watakuwa mentored. Kama ni music wanakuwa mentored. Kama ni poetry wanakuwa mentored.
So kuna mentor.
Kuna mentor kama. Then kuna hiyo workshop ya trees. On those 2 days, 1st and 2nd.
Okay. Now, looking at this, have you ever maybe thought of a desire that one day your dumpsite itatoka hapo?
For me?
Yeah.
Because mimi nimegrow dumpsite. There's a lot of people on a dumpsite. So my worry is how wase wataenda wapi. Hiyo imekuwa one of my biggest stories. Ndio wase tunalia the dumpsite to move. But me think what the government should start doing before watu wa dumpsite. They need first to look at the people who are there. Kuna watoto wadogo wako hapo, they're suffering. Kuna wamama kasi hapo, they won't eat. So kwanza the first thing dumpsite inaweza toka, it's easier kutoa dumpsite, but first you need to start with watu wako huko. If wakishatoa watu wako huko watabaki na dumpsite. So kuna mtu ataleta shida kutoa dumpsite. It's easier. All
right. There's something about the dumpsite. He's mentioned something about now the people who depend on the dumpsite, which is also very unfortunate. Now, do you think even the county government is supporting this issue of getting rid of the dumpsite? Because now, he's mentioned something very tricky. Kuna watu wanategemea dumpsite. Because now, those things actually, they help them in one or another. Kuna scrap, kuna vitu mob wanataka kuuza, si ndio? Katika hizo. So, The county government, the governor himself, at some point he mentioned he's working on a way how to maybe get rid of the dam site, but it's written out.
Yeah, good. What is being said ni ile dam site sasa inakuwa upgraded to another level.
Okay.
It has been actually upgraded to another level. Inakuwa sasa si takataka sasa ati inaumiza watu. Actually inakuwa place ya job. You get it? Like msee anaenda dam site na najua pale at the end of the day niko na 3,000 yangu. So the government kama utachukua hii initiative ya kutoa hii dam site, of which in terms of health we are fighting it all out.
Yeah.
But in terms of out wako hapa ndani getting a living, because life in Dandora ni tricky. Msee ajasoma, ajaenda chuo, so option yenye iko naona ni pesa haraka 3k manze kwa siku. I'm good. So ili gava kuja kutoa hii dam site, and I think tume work with one of the organization, I think that were big up here,
okay.
So social community organization,
okay.
Wametupatia an insight on how they have worked with the governor in terms of getting to these people when you're kwa easy channels.
Yeah.
So ukipata say umsa kuna business idea yake kali sana. Okay, sana anachukua plastics, anachukua scrap, anachukua metals. So umse ye idea yake ni gani? So soko the way they do it, wanachukua umse kando, then through the governor, actually work the governor, senator na women rep. And so umse anachukulia kando.
Okay.
There was some funds and some training, and ambiwa niaje, this is what you can do.
Yeah.
So instead of dump site, this is what you can do. So that's one case yenye nimepata from soko. So the county government actually in a push for it.
Okay.
In a push for it, but new conversation we're still having.
Okay.
How do we cater for this?
So in short, what you're trying to say is the dump site is kind of channeling some positivity in Dandora. As much as it's a health hazard, there's that problem of it's kind of say let me say some scorecards here.
Yeah.
Inajenga na pia haijengi. So for you as someone who's actually survived there for how many years? 5 years.
5 years.
Do you want it out?
Hmm?
Do you want it out?
Ni noma yani. Ni noma sana. Ni noma.
Okay.
Kulala nje for that time, mvua ikinyesha unanyeshewa and all that. For me I'm an artist. Unaperformia mabonga au the birds.
Okay. Mabo?
Zile tanga bonga au the birds.
Okay. Mabonga huko. Ni ma vulture ama zile mdumu refu zile.
Hizo so hizo tu ndio vitu ukiamka asubuhi hizo ndio vitu tunapatana nazo. So if you're doing your music, hakuna mtu unajua the funny thing about being a street kid. Wase wanakubeba differently. Ukitembea hata kwa barabara you feel like you're not a Kenyan. You feel like wewe ni mtu different. Mpaka unashindwa what's wrong. Hata kwa barabara unaweza enda hata kwa duka msee anabai atoke. Aache kwanza ununue.
Oh, okay.
Unashindwa kwani what's wrong with you? Huwezi kula kwa hoteli na amani na watu. So hiyo ndio Kenya nilikuwa na face sana when I was in dumpsite. Hata hawa sasa wanapitia pain. Ukichunguza sana deeply. Watu usiangalia tu msete juu ni chokolate anatumia drugs. Hata kuna mwingine aliingia huko hako anatumia drugs, lakini kulingana venye hiyo life iko situation inabidi tu nini ndio watu upate usingizi.
Okay.
The whole night. Baridi, all that, sweater, hakuna mahali unaweza oga. Choo. Sijara, hey, it's very hard. Me nimeface. At least God alinisaidia, and that's why we're trying all our best.
Okay.
And Ndoto Zetu, if we get a lot of support, hata tunaweza get a lot of people out of dumps.
By the way, so just before we end this conversation, how did you manage to transition? Ulitokaje kuwa Chokoch now to be who you are, a founder of a very, very powerful system in Dandora? That transition, because there must be someone who kind of led you out of it. Yeah.
So, and I always say thank you to Juliani. So because when I was in dumpsite, uzuri yangu mimi nilikuwa na do music. Na nilikuwa nasumbua watu sana. So nikiwa hata nikipiga opportunity ya kwenda kwa street, nilikuwa tunapiga mistari zangu nini. So people knew I'm an artist.
Okay.
So when one day Juliani came, when alikuwa tu amekam hanging around visiting Dandora with some visitors. So I say when they walikuwa napitia, so they found me. So, kanipata tu hapo around, and one of the people alikuwa ananijua sana ndiye alikuwa anatembeza. Kuna wasanii hapa, kuna msanii mkali sana hapa anaitwa Dash Jonte nini. So we did a song pamoja with one of my friend tulikuwa na dumpsite. Julian was amazed, and alikuwa ananiambia tu planning to do something in Dandora.
Yeah.
So when Dandora Hip Hop City came, hata mi if kama si Dandora Hip Hop City, maybe hata ndoto zetu ingekuwa exist. Because Juliani created a space. Yenye tu venye nilitoka tu hivi tu nika venye nilingia kwa space, ideas zilikuwa zinakam every day. What yani kwa napata tu ideas every time. Platforms and nenda different events. Sasa nikaanza tu kujipackage differently na kanjitoa dumpsite.
Amazing. So finally, desires, Bwana Ndare, to the parents who sometimes wanakazia watu hii kutoka, from, let me say, as we talked, Dandora, Kariobangi, coming back to Kombao, Sivo, North, Babadogo, all those areas, that some parents who feel like kako books, nothing else.
Now, I'll just mention something. You mentioned books, and at Ndoto Zetu, we have devised a platform where it's not just about the talents, it's not just about the mentorship and all the things to do with the challenges we face in Dandora. We've created a platform through the discussions we have had, and we have actually materialized it. So tukona homework sessions. Homework sessions, that means mtu akitoka chuo akiingia pale kwa space akona free room, conducive room, yenye anaweza fanya his assignments and everything. Na pia kuna swali, we are here for them. Swali wanauliza tunajibu, then tunakuwa na 10 questions of the day. Wenye mtu yake kampale anakuwa jogged. Mind inakuwa jogged. And then when the schools are closed, hapo ndo parents wao wanalalamika na wanaleta issues mob. So in as much as parent watasema mtu wangu asiende huko. During the holidays when I feel, especially in system ya Matiang'i, vile ameleta November deck watu wako mtaa, parents wanalia. Wanali in terms of mtu yako idle for 2 months. And that's why we create a program inaitwa school after school. So school after school session ni mtu yana kampale from 8 am ni 8 to 6.
Okay.
So through the partnerships that we get